Good day everyone. So today I will be discussing the continuation of Mr. Verone's report about Unit 11, which is entitled The English for Language of Offense and Prejudice. So let's start with the vulgar in the language. Life is not a bed of roses, especially in the street scene of the slum areas. In this industrial and commercialized society, people from all walks of life experience tensions of stress of modern life, including the pollution problem, climatic change that can give sudden rise to floods and typhoons, a rising crime and the changing lifestyles. Life becomes increasingly hectic, particularly in large urban areas, and Manila is not exception to the rule. Some people everywhere tends to let off steam rather than keep problems or dissatisfaction to themselves. Thus, they can speak their mind and they can be frank about something disgusting. They can just cuss and swear and utter vulgar words considered as taboo language. Doing so can shock anybody else, but is often simply a good-natured way of expressing irritation with things in general. Filipinos with a kind of Spanish temper or disposition have not been an exemption to saying vulgar words. To know this vulgar expression of a society is to know the society itself. This is the best example of social linguistics, which is the study of language and culture. So what is vulgar in the language and how can it be filthy? Or can it be clean? If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, can be filth or beauty of language be in the ear of the listener or in the collective ear of the society? If one clips his or her finger to someone and simultaneously saying the four-letter words, then it is considered a dirty word or something vulgar or filthy. Words can reflect the particular customs and views of the society. Some words are used appropriately in certain occasions but not in others. Religiously speaking, the Lord's name should not be taken in vain. If one believes in karma, one should be careful with curses or spells. Thus, the words hell and damn can be changed to heck and darn. The word bloody is a taboo in other countries because it alludes to something profane or obscene. Therefore, the word taboo, vulgar, and dirty words are caused by people without knowing what they are yet knowing that they are to some extent, and lot of times, words come out as expression of a strong emotions or expressions of irritation, whatever the case may be. Considering them from a linguistic perspective, a lot of people can accept such words are acceptable in the society, while the others consider them as horrible as they should be avoided. If you have heard of the vagina monologue that women of feminist movement are familiar of, there seems to be a linguistic reason why it was entitled as such, where the word vagina before seems a taboo but used as acceptable word. Everyone defeat, but nowadays the term shit is widely used. How can it be that in the course of interpersonal relations and daily conversation, a lot of people are prone to or cannot avoid using words referring to male and female anatomy such as intercourse, testicles, teats, pushy, and balls? There is no linguistic basis for such views, but pointing this fact, how does that imply advocating the use of non-use of any such words? Take the case of the words fuck and shit that seems to pollute the air around us. Used by adults and even children, it seems one can last a day without saying or mentioning those words. If you lost your cell phone, if you cannot find your other pair of shoes, if you're cuffed by a heavy traffic of the road, and more shit if you misplaced something you needed badly at the moment. Even our college students and other members of the society often use those dirty words not found in the dictionary. It is no different from using the language as an orientation to the exclusive language people use. Example of these, which are considered acceptable and not that dirty, are the words phrase like gimmick, bad trip, cool, or deadma. It is a gimmick for whatever party or happiness people may go or attend to. Bad trip, which means for whatever expressions or irritation. Cool, for an easygoing type, and deadma if something is not taken for us very seriously. In the Filipino language, it is the English word shit kapag bumalik na naman ang bagyong Ondoy at nasalanta na uli ang buong Maynila sa baha. In English, if Typhoon Ondoy comes back again and devastates the whole city of Manila in flood. Another shit kapag nahuli ka ng pulis na tumatawid sa no pedestrian line crossing, or in English, if you are caught jaywalking by the policeman. And another shit kapag nahuli ka ng BIR sa hindi mo pagbabayad ng buwis, or if you are caught with the BIR for not paying your tax more. And another shit kapag nakasakay ka sa jeepney at ang demonyong driver ay nag-overspeed sa ibang sasakyan, or in English, when you happen to ride on a jeepney with a stupid driver overspeeding other transportation. And another shit, a shit and a shit kapag umayaw na sa iyo ang kinakalokohan mong nobya, or in English, another shit if your girlfriend you are madly in love with is now breaking up with you. In short, the word becomes a favorite term or tag word used everywhere or in every place. Heaven knows where. If the word is heard by the predominant class, they find the rhythm of the word as okay and accepted. From this point onward, there we have speech, and using those particular taboo or vulgar words have already spread everywhere. Therefore, the word or words have been rampantly used. As long as that dominant class don't stop making shit, the implied word will still be used to or among people who do not may not even exactly know that their favorite word means to defecate, or in other words, the word now becomes synonymous for nuisance or simply a good-natured way of expressing irritations with things in general. In addition to that, a remarkable variety of linguistic forms can be considered as cursing and swearing. At one extreme, there have been some complex and sophisticated expressions as cussing and swearing. On the other hand, there are the main daily examples of taboo speech, usually profanities or obscenities that express from negative emotions as hatred, antagonism, ridicule, frustrations, and surprise. They say that some languages, such as Arabic and Turkish, are famous for the range and imagination of their swearing expression, like "you father of 60 dogs" and etc. By contrast, several peoples, such as the Japanese, swear very little or not at all. The Clerk of 1991 observes, studies on linguistic taboo have tended to be neglected for obvious reasons, but she argues how revealing use of such taboos can be of the social variables by which speakers are affected. Of course, it can be argued that a speaker's use of obscene language is superfluous. Lexically, non-taboo words can be substituted for taboo expressions, for example, making love for fucking. A speaker's intended meaning can be expressed in a non-offensive way. This is a reasonable argument in terms of denotation, yet connotatively non-taboo expressions do not carry the same significance as taboo expressions. All types of taboo language, such as the obscenities, vulgarisms, curses, expletives, profanities, and so forth, are a part of most, if not all, languages, according to Foot and Woodward 1973 and Sagarin of 1968. They certainly have been a pervasive part of conversational English in the latter half of the 20th century in North America, according to Arango 1989, Black Stratton, Nichols, and Chavez of 1985. According to researchers, men and women have been proven to talk and behave differently according to Coates 2004, Strentum et al. Of 2007, Gradle and Swan of 1989. Studies have shown that there is a male respective female language. What these researchers refer to is the use of certain linguistic forms within the English language. Women tend to use more minimal responses, even called back channels, which are words inserted within an utterance to state that the listener is listening. Yeah, and right are some examples of minimal response. Women also tend to use more hedges, but I'm not really sure, but I think to soften their utterances, while men use more commands, shut up, and directives. Get me my fill facts, or to get someone to do something as well as to show they have the power. According to Coates of 2004, Gradle and Swan of 1989. Studies have shown that men are mostly the ones using taboo or swearing within language than what women are because of the old sayings of women being ladylike and behaving properly like a lady. Ladies should not swear or use taboo or vulgar language, according to Coates 2004, Gradle and Swan of 1989, page 115. Now, this phenomenon is recalled as taboo language. That ends the discussion of the continuation in the Unit 11, which is entitled The English for Language of Offense and Prejudice. But before we end the video, let me show you first the definition of terms for you to better understand the discussion of our topic. God bless.